Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. So in this video, I've already asked the question to ChatGPT, and I basically asked the question, taking away all the details of the world's major religions, are they more similar, or more aligned, or not? And so I'm going to read what it came up with, and because really, well, in my own experience, in my own what I've talked about before, my truth journey, like I looked at a lot of different religions. Now I'm not an expert, but I learned a lot about different major world religions, and the conclusion really that I came up with way back years ago was there really isn't much difference, okay? And when you're talking about the infinite and you're talking about humans' finite minds, limited understanding, there can be different perspectives on the same source, same God, whatever, because God's bigger than man-made labels or names. He's not limited by any, like we can't use enough words in all human languages to fully describe the infinite. Okay, does that make sense? And in my personal experience, looking at different religions and that sort, even I was did my activated my chakras, got into meditation, got into all that. Like I really wanted to try to learn, at least to my own satisfaction, to get a perspective of different world religions. And again, really on the broad brush, it's really talking about the same source, same creator, same oneness. Okay. And so, anyways, I thought it'd be interesting to bring this question to Chat GPT and see how it responded. And I'm going to go over its answers here. But really, spoiler alert, it came to really the same conclusion. Okay. Now, I asked that question, and then Chat GPT said, and I believe it's 5.0 version. It said, "You've set the premise well, assuming there is one intelligent, infinite source or God, and excluding smaller doctrinal details." That was kind of the way it rephrased my question. It says, "That means we're asking whether the major religions of the world, at their core level, describe the same ultimate reality, even if their expressions differ." Now, what it did is it has kind of the core theme, like a core theme, and then kind of expressions across religions. So the first core theme: an ultimate, intelligent, eternal reality. Expressions: God in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Brahman in Hinduism, Dharmakaya or Buddha nature in Buddhism, Tao in Taoism, and the Great Spirit in native traditions. And please excuse me for my pronunciations, because I don't claim to be a linguist, like a scholar or anything like that either. But the first one, an ultimate, intelligent, eternal reality, and all of those, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and native traditions, really have their own wording or label and perspective, but it's talking about the same thing. Okay, same ultimate, intelligent, eternal reality. So the next core theme: humanity's connection to the divine. Image of God in like Genesis, that would be the early books, even like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, like the early books in Genesis. Atman equals Brahman, and then it has parentheses Upanishads, and then Buddha, nature within all, Fitra in the Islamic, innate awareness of God. So like image of God, Buddha, nature within all, and innate awareness of God in across these religions. Humanity's connection to the divine is the core. Third core, moral order or divine law. The Ten Commandments, the Dharma, Tao, Sharia, natural law, all teach alignment with the divine moral order. The need for inner transformation, fourth core. Repentance, purification, enlightenment, surrender, humility, all paths call for turning from ego and selfishness toward the divine nature. Core theme, love or compassion as the highest expression of truth. The expression, God is love, karuna in Buddhism, ahimsa in Hinduism and Jainism, chist or chest, which is loving kindness in Judaism, and Rama in Islam. So again, like the labels and the names and like the details sound different. Let's just say they're literally different sounds from our mouth, right? But they're different perspectives, but talking about the same thing. Let's see here. So now we're on the sixth core, life beyond the material. Eternal life, moksha, nirvana, paradise, reunion with the source. Each points to a transcendent destiny beyond death. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 core themes. No, 6 core themes. An ultimate, intelligent, eternal reality. Humanity's connection to the divine. Moral order or divine law. The need for inner transformation. Love or compassion as the highest expression of truth. And life beyond the material. So those were the core themes that are throughout all the major religions of the world, the major religions, okay? And so my point here, what I really want to stress right now, and I'm going to read some more here, but I want to stress that we are all created by the same creator, okay? Don't get caught up in man-made labels and names and all that, okay? Understand that the infinite cannot be known by one finite perspective. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. And I just wished that everyone in the world, even atheists, but that's something separate, but I'm really talking more about some people that follow a religion, could step back and just accept, you know what? You have your perspective, I have my perspective. I'm going to speak my perspective. But just like I've got free will, you have free will that neither can infringe on, and we should respect. Okay? And maybe we can learn from each other. Okay? Like in the bigger scheme of things, and that makes sense, because if especially for your atheists out there, maybe If there is an infinite God, an infinite one creator that is the Almighty, humans all over the world were created by this creator, then we all should have an understanding, okay? Does that make sense? Of truth, because God is truth. And we just see it from different ways. And then we put our own labels on there. And then we put kind of our own ego by making some things like my way is the right way, if that makes sense. Instead of just trying to follow God's way is the right way. And throughout the years, man has added their own stuff to religions. And that's why I say, God does not equal a religion. You can't put the infinite in a box that a limited understanding, a limited being, a flawed being can fully understand. Okay? So I'm trying to point out that we all over the world, have more similarities than differences. But if you focus on those differences, which the enemy, the rulers of darkness of this world, want to do, okay, then that's all you'll see. But if you step back and try to keep the perspective that God created, everything here is God created. Whatever your picture of God is, okay? So we need to respect the creation of God and respect it because of God, for respect for God. Like, you don't know better than God. And if someone exists, that means God willed it. Does that make sense? So try to keep that perspective. No matter what group or label you identify yourself with that's made by man. Okay? Try to stay focused on the bigger picture, not just the worldly big picture. Okay? Now also what it did is it basically kind of came up like it didn't print out very well. Hopefully you can see that. But it was, and it continues on the next page there, but basically it was kind of just like a top-down layout, okay? So the top, the infinite source, God, truth, is eternal, intelligent, and transcendent, okay? That's common in all these. And then universal core agreements below that is the moral order and justice, compassion and love as divine expression, transformation from ego to spirit, life beyond material world, and unity or relationship with the divine. Okay? All of these are core to those religions, and they align in all the major world religions. Okay? And then it went down and kind of broke it up to like three groups: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And then Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. And then Taoism, Confucianism, and Shinto. Okay? Kind of those three groups. And it kind of labeled it in their way, but really how it's the same. Okay? So Judaism, Christianity, Islam, one personal God, either Yahweh, Allah. The dharmic paths, like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, is one ultimate reality. And Eastern paths, like Taoism, Confucianism, and Shinto, one cosmic order or way. So you got one personal God, one ultimate reality, one cosmic order or way, which really, if you're talking about the infinite, that's all the same. Does that make sense? And that's why I wanted to read these so that you can kind of see, even though there's different labels, really the core, they're all the same. And then the Abrahamic, they call it the Abrahamic path. Salvation by faith and obedience, the Dharmic path, liberation by knowledge and union, Eastern paths, harmony through balance. So salvation by faith and obedience, liberation by knowledge and union, harmony through balance. And then the next line they have, Abrahamic paths is afterlife. Dharmic is rebirth, karma, moksha. And Eastern is simplicity, nature, virtue. So these are different perspectives, but they're all dealing with life after your physical body stops functioning, okay? And then the last group here is moral law, and then like there's meditation and self-realization, and then yielding to divine flow. Now it kind of lists a couple different things here, but at the very end, it's talking about how it kind of the religions start like very similar at the core, and then they kind of have their own perspectives, but then they actually really come back to the same point at the end, if that makes sense. And at the end, it says to make it simple, one light, many lamps. And I totally agree with that myself. There's one light, but many lamps, many perspectives, many unique creations, because we're finite, created by the infinite. So there's parts of the infinite in all of us. So we're going to be different in that way. And it's not a bad thing. And it's not right or wrong. Like that's what I also wanted to get to is don't get caught up in man-made labels and man-made measurements and all that, because we're flawed, okay? Keep your focus on God, okay? Because it's not about really right or wrong, because that's subjective. Well, I think this is the right way. Well, I think this is the right way. And that's where conflict happens. That's the gray area that I've speak about, that there is no gray area. Use the thought process, the measurement of what God does, which is it love or lack of love? Is it truth or lack of truth? Is it joy or unpleasant? The lack of joyfulness. Is it gentleness? Is it kind? Is it compassionate? Or is it self-centered, self-serving, and the whole ego versus spirit, flesh versus the spirit? And really, they all really are talking about that, but from different ways. Okay. So anyways, I wanted to bring this up because, and then at the very end here, it says interpretation. It says the top level, all religions begin from the recognition of a transcendent source. The middle level, they share universal moral and spiritual principles. The branch level, they differ in how they describe that source, how humans relate to it, and what the path looks like. But the bottom level, mystical or contemplative streams across all faiths often converge again, describing union with the same infinite presence that's beyond words. So that's what I was saying. It talks about how it kind of does a circle. Like we branch off, but really we start the same spot and we kind of end at the same spot. And so I wanted to bring light to this because it's very important. And this world does not talk about the similarities. This world wants to throw in your face constantly man-made differences, okay? And how there's right and wrong, okay? Really, and this was a reality changing thing from when it really clicked for me, and I've talked about this like about 3 years ago. God really made himself real in my life and woke me up and shook me and put me on a speed course here on truth. But really, it's not like right and wrong is an illusion. Okay, I know how that sounds on the surface, but that's the man-made measurement. Okay, because it's subjective. It depends on your point of view, right? Truth doesn't do that. Truth stands on its own. Okay, and truth is, and untruths are not, or is not. The way things really are, it's either is or is not. There is no gray area. There is no mixing. It can't partly be is if it partly and partly is not. Okay. It is either true or not true. Okay. And truth is God. That does not shake or change. He has always been and will always be the same. Okay. So it doesn't change just based on how you feel or what limited information you've been exposed to. Okay. So what it's about is life and death, love and lack of love. Or you can say, like, I use the word lack of love because literally darkness is the lack of light. Like, darkness isn't anything, it's an illusion. Okay. Like, it's not like we have to have choice to have free will, but there's either is or is not. It's kind of hard to describe it. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. It's either love or is not. It either is life or death. Okay. It is love or hate. It is true or lies. I mean, it's selflessness or selfishness. Okay. Like, it either is or isn't. Okay. And so right and wrong is in that gray area. The real measurement, is it love or not? Is it truth or not? Like, that's what we are not told and not brought up to think in this way, as far as this worldly systems and education that we're exposed to at a young age, and the constant messaging that we get. Because this world is ruled by darkness, okay? But I hope through this video, not only did you kind of see maybe religions are not all different, okay, as we've been told. And if you do want to know truth, seek and you will find. You will find, okay? But we are all in this together. And I've said this before, we're all in this together. Like, I'm not your enemy, you're not my enemy. It's the principalities unseen, okay? The fight isn't about possessions and power and control. The fight is, what are you at this moment? Are you love or are you not? Because literally, darkness, anything of the fruits of darkness or death, cannot stand against the light. You just have to be it. I've said this before, a completely dark room, the darkness is instantly evaporated just by the light being, when you turn the light on, just because the light is there. That is how we fight this. You have to be the light. You have to fight the darkness, okay? And it's not easy. It's not easy, because when you start going, if you don't know already, you go down this path, those layers of the onion start peeling off and you see more, okay? And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But you need to involve God, and you need to desire to know. I mean, that's the core. You have to choose it. But when you do, just know this. The agents of darkness don't like that, but they cannot stand against you. Okay? They can't. Okay? So anyways, thank you for watching this video. And if you have any questions, hopefully I made things clear and covered what I was intending to. That basically man-made labels and religions are nothing compared to the truth, which is eternal and is God. It's God. Okay? Don't get caught up looking at the tree and miss the forest. Don't get caught up in these temporary things of this world, finite things of this world, which are death. Try to keep in perspective the bigger picture, that we are creations of the Almighty. We are creations of love itself. Okay? We all are, or we wouldn't exist. Okay? But anyways, always ask questions, put comments down below. Thank you again for watching this video. And thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Ring-a-ding-a-ling that bell for notifications to let you know when I upload videos. And as always, stay strong and God bless.